And he sends me this text. I might cut it, but fuck it. He would guilt me because I had broken up with him a bit ago because I just got overwhelmed. So I broke up with him. We didn't talk for a week, and then we reevaluated our relationship. I said, this is, after Mary Jo, I said, this is what I want our relationship to look like, and this is what feels good to me. And he was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, cool. So I had to act in that way. And I did for a couple weeks. And he sends me this text. I might cut it, but fuck it. I said, you're either really busy or upset with me. I don't know why you'd be mad, and you icing me out isn't the way I'd like to communicate. I'm sorry that this is happening, but I do wish you the best and everything. And he says, this fucker. Okay, I'm not mad at him. I'm just annoyed. So he was all giving me guilt for not communicating with him properly. And then he goes, my silence was me communicating. But to make things clear, I've realized I need to step away completely. The things unfolded between us hurt me more than I think you realized. And hearing how you framed it publicly sealed it. The fact that you don't know why I'd be upset only reinforces why I need this distance. I don't have the capacity to stay in contact. I wish you peace, but I need mine too. Please don't reach out again. And that was yesterday.
Let me see it.
Okay.
Did he tell you do you know what it was you framed?
Nope. No idea. Since then, I have listened back to every episode that I mention him in.
And there's nothing there that would be out of the norm.
No.
Do you disagree?
100%.
Okay.
He used ChatGPT for this.
I know.
She said that too.
You can tell by the dashes.
By the dashes.
She said that
Guys,
too.
if you're going to use ChatGPT,
Erase
the
you got to
dashes
take the
out.
long dash out. It cannot. I've talked to all my friends who use them. Like, hey, how have you gotten rid of the long dash? Like, you cannot.
It feels so inauthentic to me.
It's
And
baseline.
I know he used it to like be able to communicate it to me that wasn't
why
like
he
fuck
wasn't
you, bitch.
communicating.
Right.
Why bother?
Well, he still had to give it his idea, and it gave him a
Sure.
message. It's still his sentiment. Just
I don't do passive
improved.
aggressive. So that whole like my silence was my communication, that doesn't work for me.
I'm surprised ChatGPT let him keep that in there.
Yeah.
ChatGPT's like, are you sure you want to send this?
Right.
Wow.
Right.
And ChatGPT didn't put any emojis on there.
No, not that time.
That's shocking.
He might have said no emojis.
Wow.
So I'm like I said, I'm not mad at him. I understand that I don't polyamory is not for him. I know that. And I knew that when I broke up with him. And then after speaking with Mary Jo, she's like, let him make that decision. You say what you need and act in that way. And he's a big boy. He's responsible if that's going to work for him or not. And I did exactly that. So I don't feel guilty. And I think I would have before Mary Jo.
Great, because a lot of that episode was about you not feeling guilt about this.
Right.
Okay. But also in that episode, she said, you're going to put all this out there and he's going to say what?
I don't remember.
Obviously, this is the part
He's going to say
missed.
yes, of
He's
course.
gonna
I'll
say
do
yes.
it. Yes, of course
Say
I'll
yes
do
to
it.
what?
To continuing the relationship with me.
Whatever she put out there as what she wanted, he was going to say yes. It didn't matter.
Because he wanted to be in the
Because he
relationship.
wanted to be in it's his
He
first
wanted to be with
relationship in
you.
12 years.
Right.
And with you, and you're like, how many points hotter than him?
He's driving a Ferrari and he doesn't have a license. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
And so listen, you can keep driving the Ferrari, but you
It's
gotta
not gonna end
kick your
well.
mom in the leg. He's like, fuck it, where's she at?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick the shit out that bitch.
So he's going to say
But
whatever.
Mary Jo was like, you gotta know within you if what he's saying is true or not, and make it clear that we're gonna check in then in a week if it doesn't go that direction, right? So we told you he's gonna say yes.
Right. Yeah, and I knew that too. And
But why didn't you just cut it?
because I didn't want to. I wanted to have a relationship where we checked in maybe once a week. We got dinner maybe once a week. You know, I like send each other memes. Like I wanted a comet partnership, and I explained exactly what I wanted, and I acted in that way, and he was fucking pissed about it.
Yeah, I don't think everybody who thinks that they can do this, whether it's lifestyle or polyamory, is actually cut out to do it. And I think a lot of times people will say, sure, let's give it a try, let's do it. And ultimately, when they're faced with it, the reality is very different than what they expected, and the feelings get in the way.
Yeah.
And I think people have to be very honest with themselves and with their partners about what they can and can't handle. Because if you say yes and in your gut it feels like a no, it's not going to end well for either person, because you're going to feel guilty that you brought somebody into something that made them feel uncomfortable. They're going to feel badly about saying yes when they meant no. You're going to be confused that you got a yes, but it was really a no. That used to happen a lot in my old relationship, that we would put some parameters around things. And I would ask permission, and he would say yes. And then he didn't want to say yes. And after the fact, it would be, well, I felt like I had to. I'm like, well, how would I know that? Right? I'm asking you, I'm following the rules. I'm doing what you wanted me to do. And if you felt pressure to say yes, then that's on you.
Mhm.
I can't second guess what it is you're telling me. You're a grown person.
Right. And that's why I don't feel guilty. I think I would have
I don't-
before, but I don't know.
I don't think you should feel guilty, but I also think like there's a lesson here for you and for everybody. I think that you, and we talk about like how quickly you introduce people to
Ooh,
something
yeah.
that they're not ready for. And I do think that, and I love Layla, like I'm not mad at her or anything like that, but you have a few types, and one of these types are these like kind of ugly ducklings or people who have no idea what they're getting into, and that turns you on. The fact that they are stepping into like an entirely new world where you kind of get to be the mom to show them around, but they are not prepared for falling in love with someone who is already with another partner, right? Where you like the butterflies and stuff, but then once the butterflies are done, where's their place
It's the new
anymore?
relationship energy. It's the
Right. That she wants
limerence
NRE and
periods.
they want a partner. So it's kind of, we've always asked, like, is it just destined to fail? Like, are you really poly or are you just like falling in love? Right. And
Oh, that's a really good question. Yeah.
that's my question for a lot of poly people. If I sit down and ask them, like, are you poly or are you just like falling in love? You like the drug?
That's a fair question.
Mm.
That's a fair question. And I think if you're getting involved with someone who's already in a relationship, I always say, like, love is infinite, but time isn't. And then you've got a husband and you've got children. And if somebody's coming to you, they don't have a primary partner on the other side, they're going to demand more from you emotionally, time wise, physically. You only have so much bandwidth. Somebody's going to end up feeling like they're getting shafted.
Right. And that's how he described it too. And I was explaining to him that, yeah, this is a different type of dynamic that you've never been in before, on top of just a relationship.
I was going to say, it sounds like he doesn't have a lot of experience in general.
No, he didn't. And I was willing to take that on because of the NRE. And because I think I get off on showing people experiences that they never in their wildest
Did you bring him to a
dreams.
party, or
I did. I did. I took him to Mystery Temple, which was, I think, is a great first party to take him to because it's like tantric and sweet and nice. And he had a great time. Him and I just kind of, hung out together. I didn't play with anyone. Why are you laughing at me?
I was looking at Jackie's face while you talking
watch
about
out.
this.
When you
Because
say Mystery Temple,
Because we have thoughts about people bringing people in too fast.
Tell me. What are your thoughts?
You go first.
Gosh, I don't even know how to frame this. I think that you have to be very delicate with how you introduce somebody to this space. I think if it's somebody that you like and you want to build a relationship with, you take a step back and you build that relationship. You make sure that that relationship is strong, that you have an infrastructure, that the person that you're bringing in feels safe, that they feel like there is a foundation there to build on, that you've got them, and that you are considering how they might feel stepping into a space where you've potentially had sex with everybody in that room. That's a big thing to take on for somebody who, again, isn't hypersexual, doesn't operate in this world. That's a lot to wrap your brain around. And so I think it's really important to prioritize if you want this to be a true partner, to prioritize that. Introduce them in a vanilla space first. We go to a lot of shows and concerts. We do pool parties that aren't sex parties, nights out, game nights. Do something like that. Go to a dinner with one couple that you think you might feel safe with. Do something that allows them to meet this beautiful community we have outside of sex. Because I think people have preconceived notions about what this world looks like. And when you meet the people who are in it, you realize that they're normal, everyday people, successful and fun and smart and evolved and funny, and people you want to hang out with in general. It just so happens that we also like to get naked and have sex with each other. But introduce somebody to the person before you introduce them to the sexual space. And then that gives them an anchor to hold on to when they're in. So if I go to a party and I know you two already, but I don't know anybody else at this party, at least I can say, hey, I have someone to talk to. I have someone, a touch point beyond my partner. Now I know a couple of people. Maybe take the first few parties and don't have sex. Just get acclimated to the environment. It's overwhelming to walk into a party and people are fucking in the middle of the room. That is not a normal thing. It's normalized for us.
Right.
That is not normal. So create a space where you can just look and be in it and start to feel like, oh, this feels safe. This feels sexy. Maybe you play with each other a little bit in that space first. Then maybe you think about what it would be like to have you each kiss somebody out. Like, just dip your toes in the water. But I think often somebody gets excited and they want to throw someone in the deep end of the pool with no floaties, and then they're shocked when they drown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think even don't put that on your friends. What the line in my head is, what's that line from the Spice Girl song when they
Tell
say
me what you want, what you
no,
really, really want.
the other one.
I thought that too.
Okay, maybe that's the most popular one, but the one where
When
they
to become one. That
the one where they say, if you want to be my lover,
You got to be with my friend. That's
Oh.
yeah.
but it doesn't say like you got to be with them tomorrow
No.
or within the first 3 weeks.
No.
I think that you get to go spend time with that situation. Don't bring people around me. This is my PSA. Don't bring them around me until like you know their birthday and their phone number by heart, right? Like you get to know them first.
Right.
Don't bring them to me when you're trying to suss out if they're the person or not. I think sometimes
Oh, interesting. Like you're trying to get your friends' feedback.
we can use
But we do
our
that in the regular
friends-
world. You don't just do that.
And I'm talking
Yeah.
like, right. I'm talking it's exacerbated, right? Because of the situation we put them in here.
Yeah.
Right. In our space. But I think in any space, and that's something I had to learn for me, is I would date people and then I'd bring them around my friends really fast. And I wasn't aware of the emotional pressure that I was putting my friends on. It's like, remember someone's name, get to
Oh.
know them, and then they would disappear 2 weeks later. And I started getting this weird feedback. And it was actually my little brother who has a crush on Layla.
Aw,
Thank
who
you.
doesn't?
Who has a crush on my little brother, who, when it was funny when I met my wife and I was like, Cam, I want you to meet this girl who I just met. And he said, I don't want to meet any more of your girls until you know you're going to marry them.
Wow.
And I wasn't aware that he gets emotionally invested in the people that I'm hanging out with.
Mm-hmm.
And it messes with his own trust issues of abandonment,
Sure.
getting close to someone,
And having them
me
go
having
away.
a girlfriend, him getting their number, building a friendship, and then he has to drop them. Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that I also get sensitive, not just because of like the space and, you're bringing them to something that they have no business at, on 2 weeks in or a month into the relationship, but it actually puts a lot of pressure on the rest of us to now,
There are men, and I will say men because I haven't seen this as much from the women. And there's some women I'm sure who do it, but I've seen it mostly from men who bring around a different girl very frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And I've given up trying to bother to get to know, like until she's around for a while, she's just another girl you brought around. I'll be nice. I'll always be nice, but I'm not interested in getting invested until it's somebody who's been around for a while.
I feel the same way. Sometimes I feel like an asshole for that, but it's like, I don't know if I should care yet.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
know
I
what
do.
I mean?
I'm a very social person, and my friends are a big part of my life, and they're family in some ways. So it's important to me that if I meet somebody, that they meet my close friends fairly early on, not to exchange numbers and hang out, but just, is this someone who's going to vibe with my friends?
Right.
Not, is this someone they want to have sex with necessarily? I think that's a lot of pressure to put on anybody. But is this somebody that they enjoy us together? Am I a good version of myself with this person?
Mm-hmm.
And I like to have my friends feedback on that.
Right.
Right. There was a guy, I called him the Israeli. He's got such an ego. He'll love that he was even mentioned in that capacity. But I don't bring people around. You guys know I very rarely ever bring anybody around. And I brought him to a barbecue at a friend's house after a beach day. And I was really off. And my friends could tell. And people are like, what is wrong with you? And I was uncomfortable. I just wasn't, it made me nervous. I wasn't the best version of myself. And a couple of my friends turned around afterwards and said, he's not that into you. Yeah, like you need to just know that he's not invested in this. And they could tell. And my energy was reflecting that I wasn't feeling secure. You know, we had great sex, we had no relationship, and it wasn't going to be a long-term thing. But even that, they sensed the vibe shift in me because I'm really in a position where I'm not social or confident, especially amongst my closest friends. They noticed.
Mhm.
And so for me, if I bring somebody around, I mean, I think I brought 2 guys around in the last 5 years, right? Like it's just not something I do. But I've noticed that about myself is that I have to be in a position where I think this person is worthy of bringing them around.
Have you been with anybody who's like, oh, I want to go to parties, I want to do this, and you're like, no, not yet? Or is it usually like a mutual, we'll get there when we get there?
You know what? Nobody's been particularly eager. I've only no. I mean, it hasn't been anybody. I mean, I'm really picky about who I date, and I'm looking for an actual partner. And so there hasn't been anybody. I'm very wary of that too. Somebody who might use me to get into the space.
Right.
Somebody who knows what I do, wants an in, and so I keep people at arm's length.
Have you seen that happen?
Yeah, with other people. Yeah, guys who are overly eager, who are very excited about the lifestyle and are using a girl as their in.
Oh gosh, it's happened to me a bunch of times.
Yeah,
Like that, I'll bleep his name, that guy, remember? That I like yelled at Lovely Fate, literally yelled at somebody at Lovely Fate.
Did you bring him though?
No.
You didn't?
No,
He
no,
just
no.
wanted you to
He
introduce
wanted
him?
to get into the Discord server, our private
Got it,
Discord
got it.
server. And so he came up to me and he was like, we were just kind of flirting, talking. And I was like, oh, he's cute. He asked for my info. And then he texted me and he's like, oh, can you give me so-and-so's number? And then that blonde hair girl that was there. And then everyone said that you were the one to talk to about getting into the Discord server. And I went, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then he ended up like stalking me and texting me from Google numbers for the next year.
Yeah.
So, and that's not even the first time that's happened where people come up to me and they're talking to me and then they're just like, oh, so I heard that you could get me in here and do this and do this and do this. I was like, you don't even know how to spell my name yet. You know, like
That's a fear. That's a concern that somebody might be, but it's a certain person. I'm at the point now where I'm dating with intention, so I'm not.
And look, not everyone's dating with intention. I think some people just do want a plus one to the party,
100%.
right? And so they're bringing people around. I don't want to make people wrong for bringing great,
No, you can bring people
And-
around and have a good time and bring a date and that's totally fine. I'm 100% on board with that. But I think that if you're trying to create an intentional partnership and it's somebody that you want to be with, give it time.
are you dating somebody right now?
Yeah, I met someone.
How long have y'all been dating?
We met at the end of April. He doesn't live here though. He lives out of town. So we're doing the long distance thing.
out of state or out of city?
state.
Oh, wow. Out of country?
No.
Okay, just out
He's
of-
in the Niagara Falls area.
What?
You don't know him. No.
She said out of
This is
state.
a
And you went, out of
modern-
country?
I was going to go
90-day
until,
fiancé.
like,
Yeah, no.
is he on the planet? Is he in orbit?
Is he in your imagination?
What does he think about
How
you being
lonely are you, Jen?
What does he think about you being in this space? How does he feel?
He's been great.
Oh, good.
He's been great. We met through a mutual friend, and I was talking to him at a barbecue about, I've been working on a book for a while about the lifestyle, and we were talking about my writing this book. And so it came out very, very early that this is part of my life and what I do. So he had that information from the moment we started talking. And there's been a lot of questions about how this all works and how I maneuver it and all of that. He's been wonderfully supportive. And, the conversation is about how we move forward without my having to change who I am and keeping him safe and comfortable and emotionally protected. And for me, like, I'm really excited. I'm like, it's been a long time since I've been really stoked about somebody. And so I'll do whatever I need to do to be able to nurture this in a way that is protective. But
What if he said, I want to be monogamous?
he's not going to.
Okay.
He's not going to. We've already had that conversation.
Okay,
He
cool.
doesn't want to change me. He likes me for who I am, and he knows this is a part of who I am. So he's not interested in changing who I am.
Why'd you go to that question?
What do you mean?
Of all the questions you could ask, like, he could ask her to do a lot of things. He could be like, you just don't go to parties above this size because I'm more comfortable with that. Like, why do you, I'm curious for you, why did it go to like,
Well, I think all or nothing in like a lot of
Yeah.
things, right? I think we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
think in black and white, but I would just imagine that would be really difficult looking for a primary and being like, this is a part of me. This is a part of like the way I love and express myself to my friends and people I love. And I would imagine it'd be really difficult to establish like a really strong bond with that person and have a foundation. And then months down the road being
Mhm.
like, I actually don't think that I could be with someone who was non-monogamous. Like I would want to be monogamous because that's happened to other friends of ours.
Yeah.
It's happened to plenty of friends of ours
Yeah.
where they get together and they're like, yeah, I'll try it. And then like, no, let's do monogamy now. And then they're monogamous.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried about. I really think that I'm coming to the table with this is who I am. And if you like me, you understand that this is, I mean, we've talked about this. Like, I'm going to less and less parties anyway. The parties are changing. They're getting a lot bigger. They're drawing in a younger crowd. I don't tend to be attracted to young guys.
Neither.
So
is
there's
it the age or the energy?
both.
Both.
Say more.
I like intimacy. And it doesn't necessarily need to be that we're partnered and together intimacy, but I like to have some sort of connection. And for me, I can't feel connected to much younger guys. And I feel like it's getting big. There's less vetting going on. There's more, oh, you're hot, come,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to, are you a quality person that I want to spend time with? And when I started in the scene, that's what it was. There was a lot of vetting. There were a lot of meet and greets. There was a lot of gatekeeping, and not in an exclusive, mean girl, popular kid way. Is this somebody I want to get to know? And I would say it was better because it wasn't just, are you hot? It was, are you cool? Are you smart? Are you respectful? Do you bring something to the table that's going to enhance this community in a really sincere, genuine way? And I'm finding now that as the numbers get bigger and the population gets a little younger, not that all younger people are like this, but there's a little more like, you're hot, let's fuck.
Right.
And the parties feel colder. And for me, that's not what I got into this for. I got into this for community. I got into this for emotional intimacy, the way I know how to exchange it. I have great, wild, raw sex with people that I'm not in love with, but there's a connection of some sort. I want to bring you pleasure. You want to bring me pleasure. We've learned enough about each other. We laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I laugh. I love to giggle and laugh and play. To me, that's what sex is. It's play.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm having sex with somebody I don't know very well, who we just like the look of each other, there's no connection, you're not in tune to me, I'm not in tune to you, that doesn't do anything for me. The physicality isn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I wait around for the parties that mean something. I wait around for the ones that are curated with the people that I love. And I'm open to new people. I am. But I want to know more about you.
Right.
And I want to know that you're bringing something to the dynamic that speaks to the nature of how this started for me.
Right.
I'm a little nostalgic for the old days.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't had sex with someone that I didn't know before. Like I meet them and then we're having sex. Years.
That happens a lot.
It's only
Some hot girl at a party and
Mhm.
guys like, I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had conversations with some of my male friends where that's happening a lot too. They feel like maybe the girls come to the party, they look at the guest list beforehand, they pick out the guys that they think they want to have sex with, and then there's not a lot of room for growth because that's what's happening.
So some guys are you saying some of your friends are saying that they're not getting as much action at parties?
Yeah, that it's not feeling as connected as it used to.
Do you have sex with like random women at parties that you hadn't met before?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there are people who like that,
But
right?
certain people though. Certain
Like
people.
hot people?
I mean,
Is somebody ever too young for you?
yeah, energetically, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm not into young girl energy. And I think that's why when we were talking the other day about Ozempic and people getting too small,
Yeah.
I think that's part of why it's a turn off to me. Like the smaller you get, the more like little girlish you look.
Oh, it's less womanly.
And I'm not into that. And that's why it's actually kind of weird to me.
Mm.
I get really skeptical and curious about what drives that like desire.
Like if there was a super hot girl at the party, but then you found out she was like 20, 21 years old, would that influence?
What's her emotional energy like?
Oh.
Can she hold a conversation?
She can hold a conversation, but she also has the maturity of a 21-year-old. She can have a conversation, but like she's 21 and looks 21. Does that bother you?
I probably won't even see her. You know what happens to me sometimes is I'll meet people in a non-play space, right? Like a concert, barbecue, rooftop thing, whatever. And I'll say, oh, hey, what's your name? They'll tell me their name. Have I seen you before? Yeah, I was at this party. I didn't even notice them.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you feel like it's changed? Have you noticed a change?
I would say that it's changed.
Yeah. How do you think it's changed?
Well, people keep catching this one STI, which is like not a fun thing.
Or like gonorrhea?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the case for the first year.
No.
And I wonder if those two things are related.
If I had to guess, yes.
The guest list and who's on the guest
Correct.
list and what those people are about.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not as much consideration, I think, of other people,
Mhm.
right? There's a way to stop this. You shut it down. Everybody gets tested. You're not going to eliminate it altogether, but you shut it down for a little bit. Everybody gets tested. You start to be very particular about who you invite and seeing results and people who are responsible for their own sexual health. And there's just not a desire to do that.
But it doesn't matter. I think that there is and it sucks because I don't really want to talk about this on the podcast because I don't want to put a negative light on the space. I don't even know if we can talk about this on social media or if YouTube's going to take it down, right? But I think there's a correlation between like the number of single people coming to parties and the number of STIs that are going out. Because if we're not at a party, my wife and I are just fucking each other.
Right.
Right. And you're probably fucking your husband or maybe one other person that you're in a poly relationship with. It's not like 4 days a week you're sleeping with four different people.
Or random women.
Right. Unless look, if you get down like that, you get down like that. But then you multiply that out. It's funny. I was at a friend's rooftop for 4th of July and I met a new girl. She was kind of cute. My wife's not going to be into her, but like, it was nice to talk to her. Right.
Mm.
And she was like, you know, what's funny, B, is like before I was in the lifestyle, I never used condoms. She said, I would just go out and whatever guy I met with, I would just fuck him raw. And she's like, I never got pregnant, never got an STI.
You know what? I think the same thing for me actually. Before I got married, I had sex with guys without condoms because of the heat of the moment. And I would be almost embarrassed to be like, can you wear a condom? And so I would just be like, whatever happens, happens.
Interesting. See, I think she just liked the feeling without it. And then the way she thought about it was like the 2% chance that they have something. Look, I know the eye roll, right? It's a bad way to approach it. But she's like, it's a 1 in 50 chance. So it's 49 out of 50. They don't have anything. So we're good, right? But she said, once I started going to parties, I was like, condoms.
Well, because
For
you're having
sure.
sex with multiple people in a night.
Right.
You're
and they're
upping your numbers.
The percentage changes drastically once all those people start. It's how COVID spreads, right? Zombies. Every zombie movie.
There are particular people that will be in our group chat. I might cut this too. I've said that a lot. But there's a couple people it's always them that are like, hey guys, I got something.
Yeah. It's the same people over and over
the
again.
Same people. And I'm like, okay, are we all kind of thinking of the same person?
Know. So I saw one of our friends. He's the tall one with the wife with the curly hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, man, what do you think? And he didn't want to tell me. He's like, like he never wants to say
That's a
it.
good
He's
impression.
such a
I
he's
know
such a punk
exactly.
about it, dude. I'm talking to you. He's like, I was like, bro. I was like, and then I go, he smelled the Delta, right? And he's like, yeah.
Okay, shit. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if we're going to put that in the episode, but it is this thing where,
Maybe for our
George Bush
Discord
like
feed.
fool me once.
It's always them. And then I go, okay, is it you? Are you the
Or
one?
at least you have a behavioral pattern that keeps putting yourself in this situation, and then you're putting other people in the situation. And so this is like Layla and I she never wants to talk to me about how I think some people are sex addicts.
Oh,
And they're doing
we
this.
should talk about that.
And they're doing
Yeah.
it to avoid, handling real shit in their life.
Yeah.
Right? Like work-life balance or like whatever's going on with my family. I got kids at home, but I'm still at parties every weekend, but I got a newborn at home. You know what I'm saying? And I want to have that conversation about there's some people where you might want to kind of pause and check in. And we don't always see eye to eye on that because Layla's like, oh, just let them be them. And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, there's some shit going on.
I know sex addiction is real. Like I know that. But I think that he thinks that more people are going to parties because they have a sex addiction. And I'm like, maybe
There used to be a party once every month, once every 6 weeks. Now it's to the point where you could probably go to a party once a week, a couple times a week.
And I think people are going a couple times a week.
That's insane to me.
I'd rather die. I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to go to multiple sex parties a week.
That's a lot. And if you can't take a break, then there's something I think that you need to check in with yourself and figure out why it is you can't take a break.
Right. And so I don't want to make them wrong. I don't want to make the parties wrong. But as a homie, I want to check in.
Are you okay? Like,
Yeah,
what's
are you
going
good?
on
Are you good,
here
bro? Let's talk for a second.
that we're
'cause-
burying ourselves in this amount of sex?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do wonder who people's like ride or dies are. Like their homies that will check in with them and say, hold on, like this is like number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the other
Or
question.
4
I
or
mean,
5
are you
that this has come
developing
up.
deep friendships, or are you just surrounding yourself with casual acquaintances that also like to fuck on a regular basis?
Right.
Because if you don't have close friends that will call you out, if you don't have people that are looking out for you, then you're very lonely in a space filled with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's part of that too, right? Take a look at your friendships. Like, who are the people who are going to call you on your bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have those people? Or do you have the people that are going to yes you to death?
Right.
And let you do your thing?
See, I think that's probably the most powerful thing that you can say about that. And if it is true that the space is getting younger and more shallow, then people aren't going to have those conversations with each other.
No.
And that's something that is missing. And you will start to get bad behavior, right? Or an STI. And like, thank God it's been curable.
Yeah. Yeah. I worry about that. I do worry about that.
Yeah.
And the last thing you want to do, frankly, is if you're in a relationship with somebody who's outside of the space, is to bring home an unwanted gift.
Or even if they're in the space, like you don't want to give anybody an unwanted gift. Didn't the porn space just have a halt?
They did. They had a halt because
right?
somebody tested positive for HIV. Yeah. Which is what they do in the porn space. They shut it all down and yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, we don't talk a lot about who is and isn't on PrEP, but there's not enough people in our space who are. So
True.
it just scares me. It just scares me.
Well, thank you for coming on again today.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like
know.
I feel like we're ending on a low, but we
I
also
know,
just
I don't
got
wanna
really
do that. How
No,
do
but it's,
we-
I
no,
think,
but we got real about what we're feeling about
yeah.
it.
And also, I think any of us 3 would call any of each other out, right? Like Brian calls me out all the time where he'll text me and he's like, are you good?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, how did you know I wasn't good? And he's like, 'cause I know you well enough to know you're not good. We can talk about it, you know?
Yeah, no,
I walked in the door and you guys were like, are you okay?
Yeah,
Right.
And like,
always.
I'm not, because I think part of, for me too, is it's hard for me with my wife too to like keep her. She's like, man, fuck it. Let's just fuck the space then. Let's just go back to finding people in the wild. I don't want to deal with all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with like interpersonal drama. I don't want to have to choose sides in breakups.
Mm-mm.
I don't have to do this in my normal life. Why do I have to do it now that we're in this space, right? And so I think all the bullshit around it'll make her want to just like, let's just go back to going to clubs and maybe we'll find somebody and bring them home. And our chances of catching something will be lower.
Right. I can see
And it
that.
didn't used to be that way, but it feels like that now. So like I guess my fear, I'm glad we brought it up, but my fear is like we'll start to lose great people that are just going to dip out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there definitely is a feeling like you want to either create a space that feels more authentic to what you're looking for, or you want to find an alternative. It's just unfortunate because we have built such beautiful friendships and I want to keep those friendships, right? You want to be invited. You don't necessarily want to go to everything, but you still want to be invited to everything, right? So there is that because you want to still be able to hang out with people. But I've gotten to the point now where I think
we got lucky that we came in when we came in.
Yeah.
And we established the core that we have. I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. Okay. Last thing. I said I was on a phone call on the way here.
Yes.
And I was talking to my buddy, and I hate cruises. I just watched this.
Oh, did you watch Poop Cruise?
I watched Poop Cruise. Have you watched Poop Cruise?
I've heard of it.
We watched
my
Poop Cruise.
God. And it was I've only been on Carnival cruises.
I mean, it was a terrible recreation of a story. It was awful.
But the train wreck shows on Netflix are such trash, but you can't stop watching them.
You couldn't pay me to go on a cruise, period. It could be the best cruise in the whole world.
I've been on a few.
No,
All right, but okay, so I haven't had a great experience either. Have you had a great experience on a cruise?
I went on one when I was 16 with my family. It was fine. I did one with my roommates in college, my friends in college for spring break, which was fine. Did one with my mom, which was fine. And then I did a weekend one, which was trash. And I got so sick afterwards. I caught whatever virus spreads on cruises.
What cruise lines were they? Do you remember?
God, like Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, like the big ones.
I've only been on Carnival. I think Carnival is the Spirit Airlines of cruise ships. So.
That's the one I got sick on.
Yeah.
It was a weekend Carnival cruise and I got really ill.
It's different people, right? I'm like, these are Americans? Where do they live?
There's not enough time to turn over that cruise ship. That's the problem, is that the turnover's so fast. There is no way to scrub that ship from top to bottom. And the amount of time that they're turning over that volume of people, I know I'm going to get sued by Carnival by saying this, but you guys are never going to get a Carnival sponsorship.
No.
But
we're fine.
That's okay.
I just
That's
don't.
okay.
There's no way there's enough time between when those people get off and when the next batch of people get on to do a thorough deep clean of that boat.
But
There's
that's
just no
with
way.
everything commercial. Planes are like that too.
Yeah.
Like when you get on a plane, do you take the alcohol swab and wipe down your seat?
No,
You
I
don't?
should. I don't. No.
I know, Layla. We're going to talk about body scrubbing etiquette later.
Yeah,
No, we're gonna
There's
do that.
body scrubbing etiquette.
We're gonna do that later.
I'll tell you after.
But okay, look, my buddy, he went on a Alaska cruise, on an Alaska cruise, and it was on it was celebrity cruises. He said it was like one of the best experiences of his life.
Oh.
He said it's along the coastline the whole time. So you're seeing Alaska in a way you would never see it.
The Alaska cruises are supposed to
He's
be
like
beautiful.
bald eagles. They take you up to a glacier that's like crumbling. He's like, there are orcas and humpback whales like breaching out of the water and stuff. I was like, damn, man, he makes you want to go on the cruise. But then he said, yeah, if I would do it differently, I would just pick some of your best friends and go on the cruise with them because it'll even be more fun. And I thought about people like us. Like it would be a party, but it would be fun with a crew like this. Yeah. And I think you're spot on. Like that's what's missing. You're missing meeting the people that you would go on something even as mundane as a cruise is.
Well, we used to rent houses and have a weekend.
That's
like 4th of July, we'd go out to Palm Springs or somewhere that's cheaper because it's hot. And you spend the weekend in the pool, barbecuing and hanging out. And we've traveled together. We all 15 of us went to Machu Picchu together. We went to Peru and hiked to Machu Picchu together. I mean, that's when I talk about people in the lifestyle being my closest friends, we do real life travel adventure things together. It makes it more fun to be able to do that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't pick 15 random people out of the menagerie of strangers we have now. It would be the people that I want to actually travel with.
Thank you for coming on again. My second attempt to wrap it up, but
No,
like it had to keep going.
It's so much fun.
I know. I wish we could just do this
I always worry I'm going to
day.
say too much, and then I think,
Where can people find you now?
It's just at Jackie Schechner. I'm welcome to follow, and you're going to come for the sex and you're going to stay for the cats. I have to warn you. There's a lot of cat content.
It's really cute though.
That's a lot of what I do, but
that's cute.
Yeah.
We'll put that in the show notes too. Yeah. But I know what I'm going to get off on.
Oh, you just want to get off? Go ahead.
Do we still want to get off?
Yep. Let's go. Cool. 1 minute.
I want to talk about do you ever go to Hobby Lobby?
No, because they're a conservative Christian.
Michael's.
Yes,
Yeah, I've
I've
been to
been there.
Michael's.
Their carts are tiny. I hate their stupid fucking carts. And I love crafts. That's my ADD thing is I go and I get on my crafts and then I don't do anything. But I love going to Michael's with my little cart and I'm going down and I want to get like paints and I can only fill it up like this much. And then I'll bring it up to the front and I'm like, I need another cart. Can I leave this here? And they're like, oh, well, we're not responsible for every single time I go into the line and I buy stuff at Michael's. I tell the person that's working, like who's the cashier, like they have any say in anything. And I'm like, I would have bought a lot more stuff if your carts were a little bit bigger. And they're like, okay, like it's no sweat off
Do
their
they
back.
have not normal shopping carts?
No, they're tiny.
Like the little baby ones that kids
Basically,
push?
yes, but a little bit taller. But they're the tiniest fucking carts. I mean, during Christmas time or like Halloween, forget it. Like I can't go in there and buy all the stuff. I would give y'all so much more money if your carts were like double the size. I mean, don't get me started on Costco carts. Those are too big.
Yeah.
Costco cart. It's like dick sizes, right?
I was
It's
just
like,
going to say that.
we're circling
I feel
back,
like
Brian.
you're going to give a courtesy blowjob to the Michael's cart.
Yeah,
And then send
the
it on
Michael's
its way.
cart gets a courtesy. The Costco is like, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Right? Like I need a good Albertsons cart. I want a good Albertsons cart that knows what it's doing.
Trader Joe's.
Yeah, give me a Trader Joe's cart, but not too big, not too small. Just
So,
Trader Joe's.
fellas, if you have an Albertson size cart,
We like it.
Layla's recently single from her
Yeah.
boyfriend situation.
All right, that was my getting off.
So, but is it small because are the holes smaller because they don't want the small things falling
No,
through
the
the cracks?
holes aren't even smaller. So
The
if
holes
I'm
are
buying
normal
beads,
size holes.
Gone.
Done.
Yeah. Pipe cleaner's done.
Oh my god! All right,
That's been on my
a good
list
one.
to get
That's
off
a-
on for a while.
That's a good one. All right, so mine. All
Okay.
right. Okay. All right. It's 2025, right? COVID was 5 years ago. We've all been on hella Zoom calls, right?
Right.
Zoom calls, FaceTime, it's normal now. Okay. It's about time people learn that if I can't hear you, you screaming louder on your side isn't going to help me hear you better. It happens at least once a week. It's like, hey, can you hear me? And they're like, no. Can you hear me now? No. And it's like, no, it's a computer setting. You've changed the setting 50 times. It's a headphone or the internet is out, but you screaming louder, I promise you, will not help.
It's not the mute accidentally. Like you're muted.
Even if it's
You're
muted,
muted. Oh,
that
you
one, yeah.
yelling does not unmute the
No.
computer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen people do this? They're like yelling to try to get you to hear them, and it doesn't work, people. It just does not work.
Speaking of getting louder, every time we do a getting off rant, Brian screams
I
into the
get
mic.
louder.
So when I'm editing, it's like clipping like fucking crazy. It's in the
Well,
red.
you're passionate about this.
When he gets
Zoom
passionate.
etiquette.
I get let up about some stuff, man.
Yeah. No, that's because I edit everything. I like as people are talking, I'm like, oh God, they need to speak up. Oh God, he's too loud. Oh, I'm gonna have to take that. Because Brian does that. He goes, well,
We don't even talk about half the things I would get off on.
Oh.
If I really went off. Well, someone wants to come on and have an episode that's just us ranting for
with voodoo?
Michael.
Oh.
Wants to just come on and just all your hot takes, just let them all out. Let people hear it. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Unmasked Project with Brian and Layla and Jackie.
Yay.
If you love this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until we see you next time, try something or try someone new.